Sandipini Radio. I am Tanisha and I know you all have been eagerly waiting for our podcast on Reading Month Part 2. As promised, we are back with an insightful interview of our school director, Lata ma'am, who will share with us why reading matters. Namaskara Lata ma'am. So I'll be asking you some questions on reading month and your first question would be why do you keep stressing on reading month so much?
Interesting question. Um, I strongly believe that reading frees up our mind. Reading is something that once you've learned to read, you feel forever free. That's what books do to you. That's what reading does to a human being, right? So when it comes to me, I look at reading as a life skill, just like we learn swimming as a life skill, speaking as a life skill. Reading is also a life skill, right? Now, why is it a life skill? Because what is the purpose of schooling? Our intent is to support you in becoming independent thinkers, independent learners. When we are talking about making all of you become independent in everything, reading is an important life skill that makes you feel that freedom, okay, and enjoy that freedom. So when you read, your vocabulary expands. Because you have better words, you're able to express freely. When you're able to express freely, then automatically your communication skills are so much better. When your communication is clear, there's a lot of clarity, and you know how to speak to people, then it improves your social skills also, right? You have better bonding, better connect with people around you because of all that, right? And when you read books, you learn about new things, your knowledge expands, and when you read interesting stories, it could be fantasy, it could be myth, mythological stories, or even biographies. When you read that, at least for some time, you're walking in somebody else's shoes, right? When you walk in somebody else's shoes, what does it mean? You feel for that person, you start feeling for that character. That makes us become empathetical people, right? People who are empathetic. So that way we are building our socio-emotional skills as well, right? We are becoming better human beings who can think from others' perspectives, isn't it? And so when you talk about perspectives, when you see when you are able to identify a plot and how that plot is or the problem in the story is getting resolved and all that, it gives you a lot of exposure to problem solving itself, right? You become critical thinkers, you become better problem solvers because you're experiencing all that through the stories, through whatever you're reading, right? And it improves your memory. Reading is a very good memory tool, and today whenever people are stressed, they turn towards a screen. But when you increase screen time, what happens is your brain is bombarded it's overstimulated, so you get more stressed. Even when I'm sitting on a couch and watching TV for 2 hours, actually instead of feeling relieved, relaxed, we feel more stressed because our brain is overstimulated. But when we read a book, it reduces stress, right? It's a great stress buster because it also entertains us, it informs us, it instructs us, right? And also, when you hold a book in your hand, there's a lot of attention and focus. But when you're scrolling through TV channels or on a phone screen, you're not really focusing. Your attention and focus is reducing. But when you turn through the pages of a book, you are focusing, right? Your attention span increases. You're better focused, right? So when reading does all these so much good to all of us, why wouldn't I stress on reading, especially for all of you who are growing you are in the age of this rapid growth and development that's going on in your body. Your brain is developing rapidly, your bodies are developing rapidly, and this is a time when you need maximum exposure. And reading is the best thing to allow for maximum exposure, right? So I hope that all these practices that we have in our school, and the stress that we lay on reading as a life skill, all of you will pick it up and become better readers and grow in your life. And it is also said, recently I was reading it somewhere. It said somebody interviewed around 100 very successful people around the world. Okay, top 100 most successful people around the world, and they were interviewed and asked what made them this successful, and their response was that it was their regular reading habit. Okay, and they were reading on an average around 50 books per year, 50 to 100 books per year, and that is what was the reason behind their success. So now tell me, should I lay stress or not?
Of course.
Yes.
See, the next question will be, isn't reading supposed to be a choice? Can it be imposed or not?
I would like to start with a quote here. Okay. We all know about destiny, right? And we all think destiny is all about chance. But I strongly believe that destiny is a matter of choice. The choices that we make from a young age, in our day-to-day, the kind of day-to-day habits that we create, those are the ones that make us who we become, right? That's what decides our destiny. So, making the right choices at the right time, that makes for one's life, so why impose it? I don't think we are trying to impose reading. We are trying to create more and more opportunities where people pick up reading as a habit, right? If we do not create these times like Dear Time, or the Ekant reading, or the reading month, the book reading sessions, teacher read alouds, right? And sometimes you also dress up as your favorite characters from the books that you're reading. Why do we do that? It is to help you make the right choice, help you choose reading as a habit, right? So the more exposure that you get, the more you get accustomed to it, the more you get habituated to it, and then it's no more, you don't look at it as you're being forced to do something, but it becomes more of a choice, right? When you see 3-4-year-olds, right? Initially parents brush their teeth, and do you think babies are happy when somebody is brushing their teeth? They cry, they resist, they feel like they're being forced to do something, right? They throw a tantrum, all that. But what is good is good, isn't it? So do parents or guardians say, okay, my child doesn't like it, so I don't want to impose brushing, so let them not brush. We don't do that. So what do? They bring Chota Beam toothpaste, Spider-Man toothpaste, or a toothbrush, and play some brushing rhyme for the brushing time, and sing a song or tell a story, and then slowly help the child get into the habit. So after 1 or 2 years of all this, it becomes a habit. Now nobody needs to remind us about you have to brush, have you brushed? Nobody comes and supervise, right? You're all habituated. Though it was imposed earlier, you felt like it was imposed. It is now it's a part of you. That is how a skill like reading also should be. So we are not trying to impose, we are trying to get you accustomed to it. by providing you more and more reading opportunities, to make reading look fashionable, to make reading look in vogue, right? Something that is like a cool choice to make, isn't it?
Yeah.
So over maybe in the next 4 to 5 years, maybe there will be that internal, it will become an intrinsic motivation for you to just pick up a book and read rather than go to your phone, where you understand the benefits of reading and you take to it. Right? That's the whole intent. Alright, I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you, Lata ma'am. I'm definitely going to reflect on what you said. With this, I'm signing off for now. Keep following Sandipani Radio. Like, share, and subscribe.